So I have 4 detectors here, and each of them have different coils on it. I'm right next to a fence where I found at least 10 pieces of jewelry in the last year. I found 2 rings here in the last year or so, around this fence here, around this basketball court. So around these basketball courts, you have a lot of people playing sports, and they're losing jewelry. It lands on the concrete, and it rolls over, and it lands right there, and they can't find it. And most detectorists can't find jewelry around fences because you're not choosing the right coil, okay? What I've done here is I've taken a ring. And I've buried it about 3 inches right there, right? Big coils just cannot get that close to fence, even at low gain, okay? There is so much jewelry next to fences, it's absolutely sickening, right? And this is just this one school right here. I found 10 pieces of jewelry around this little basketball court right here. I found a bunch over there on the other side when they took out a fence. They took out the fence around one of these, and I got 3 pieces of jewelry in less than an hour, about 3 or 4 weeks ago. But I lost all those videos on my had a card error. So I'm gonna try to smack that coin right there with these different coils here, okay? I'll try the Simplex 278 first with the Simplex SP28 coil on there, 11-inch coil. And of course, I'm not gonna ground balance here because this is just a demonstration, this is a test. And I think another piece of jewelry or a penny's right there. So I didn't know that that penny was here when I first got here. It could be a piece of jewelry there, but that piece of jewelry is right there, okay? Ain't gonna do it, right? Because I'm at full gain, right? I can't get close to that fence. And a lot of fences have that bar along the bottom there, and it makes it even worse. You can't even get 8 inches away, 8 to 10 inches away from this this Simplex at full gain before it just goes crazy. So I'll drop this down to 4 bars. Try to hit that. It's right there. I'll dig it out here in a second. Okay. I think another piece of jewelry is there. I'm not sure about that one. Might be some foil, but I'm not able to hit it at that low gain. I'm not able to hit that 3-inch ring there in the ground close to that fence. So this ain't gonna cut it. I have to go down too far for me to get around that fence there with the gain to be able to hit that deeper ring there. Okay, and I got the Simplex 278 with the SP22 coil on there. Let's see if it'll do that full gain. Let's see how close I can get to it. Just iron. And something is right there. I'm gonna actually dig that one out. Hopefully in this video. Not gonna do it at full gain because I'm too close to the fence, right? You want to get that center of that coil, which is the most sensitive part of that coil. You want to get that target right in the center of that coil, or close to the center of the coil as possible. Not gonna do it at 5 bars. Let's go with 3 bars. I want to get close to that fence. I want to just get right up next to that fence. Nope, not hitting it. Okay, go with 2 bars here. Get even close to that fence, because I want to get that target directly over the center of my coil. That's the most sensitive part. Not going to happen. Okay, 1 bar right here. Get right up next to that fence. I'm actually touching the fence. Not going to hit that coin. Not going to hit that ring. It's directly in line right here. Okay, not going to do it. And I'm telling you, I've gotten so much jewelry, just buckets full of jewelry doing this exact thing, because schools are loaded with jewelry around these fences. The reason why there's so much jewelry is because the guys with these big coils can't get next to that fence. You know, all these guys with the big coils, they've already gotten a lot of this jewelry out here, and I do get a lot of jewelry out here too. But you want to get to where the concentration of the jewelry is, right here, because nobody's gotten that jewelry yet because they have those big coils. And this, you gotta listen for the targets, because you got to adjust your gain just right. And the Simplex only has 7 notches of gain, so you can't really, because, oh, I'll show you here. getting a foil signal right there at full gain, right? So it's hitting it just a little bit. It's doing actually very good there. So I'll drop it down to 4 bars, okay? It's reading 14, solid 14. So that sounds just like foil, and there's a lot of foil on the surface. I mean, just massive foil along the surface here. So that sounds just like foil. I'll go down to 3 bars and get right up next to that fence. Still hitting that. Still hitting that fence, you know? It just sounds like all the other background. But if there was a ring right here, I wouldn't be able to get close to it. See that? If there was a ring right there, right in front of that post right there, and there's a lot of these posts, there's a lot of jewelry around these posts. I can't fine tune adjust this metal detector because it only has 7 bars of gain. And I'll bring in the Anfibio. And I've gotten so much jewelry with this Anfibio, with this 5-inch double D coil here. It's absolutely sick, man. That ring is right there. What I was saying before, you want to get close to that fence. You want to get as close to that fence as you can to the center of the coil. And this detector, you can adjust it 99 notches, right? And that's at 89 gain. That's a high recovery speed and good depth. And I think there's another piece of jewelry there. Watch. I'll get right next to this post right here. At high gain, I can still get really close to the center of that coil, right next to that post there. And I'll even drop the gain down here. Watch. I'll hit this ring again. And I'll drop it down to 60s here. Okay, 60s. Okay. It's hitting it even better. It's more stable because I dropped the sensitivity down. It's not hitting that fence so much. Okay. And those were all in 3-tone here. And I'll dig this ring up right here. Okay. I'll just dig this ring up. And that's where most of the jewelry is at, about 3 inches deep. And those other coils were just not cutting it. You know, if the Simplex had a 5-inch coil, that would be just amazing. And watch this. Watch this. I'll jack the sensitivity up a little bit more. I usually keep it like in the 70s or so, around fences. But I'll put this on my fingertip here, about 1 inch deep into my fingertip here. And this is just, I just turn it on, 3-tone. On the edge of the coil, watch this, right on the edge of the top of the coil there. I'm still hitting it at 4 inches, right? Still hitting it at 4 inches. Most coils, the sensitivity is very, very high right in the center of the coil. I'll show you with this one right here, okay? The Simplex coil here. And I'll jack it up all the way. This is the 277 version actually, okay? Jack it all the way up. It's hitting it really good right there on the edge of the coil. But let me drop it down here like I had before at 2 bars. Just barely hitting it. If this ring is that 3 inches deep, probably not going to hit that one because you're still going to be hitting that fence there. And I'll show you the 8-inch coil. And the Simplex, the SP28 coil, the 11-inch coil, that thing will hit it 10 inches away on the edge of the coil there. This is the SP22 coil at 1 bar gain, okay? Barely even hitting it. There's like a dead spot in this coil here. This SP22 coil doesn't do really very good on the edge, the top edge up here. I'll jack it up all the way, and I'll even show you. But it still gets really sensitive once you jack it up. And I'll actually show you again. I'll show you again with this how the coils work, the center of the coils. I'll show you how they work here. This is the 278, or whatever it is, and I'll put it up to 4 bars here, and I'll show you. I'm barely hitting it right there at 1.5 inches, right? It's hitting it pretty good though. But I'll get to the center of the coil, and I can go out a lot further with that. I'll move away from that center of the coil, and it's just barely a whisper, right? And I'll show you the SP28 coil, which I cannot get very close to that fence or else it just overloads on it. It's not an overload signal, it still gives you numbers, but it's just a really loud tone. And I'll jack it all the way up, and I'll show you this ring here. That's a small ring, and I'm even going to the edge of the coil here. I'm hitting that at 6 inches. 6 inches away on the edge of the coil there. But that's why I have to drop the gain down a lot when you get near fences, especially with the Simplex, because the Simplex is so sensitive. But you saw how that 5-inch coil performed. This 5-inch double D coil performed. It's just deadly with jewelry next to fences here, because you can fine tune that sensitivity right next to these fences. Because I'm going up and down with my gain. When I get near one of those posts, I drop it down about 10 notches or 8 or 20 or whatever, however big that post is. But if you have another pole right here on the bottom here, it makes it a lot tougher to get those targets. So that's how you get more jewelry. You can get jewelry the first time you go out. If you go to a school and you just test it out a little bit, just adjust your machine down fairly low and get right up as close as you can to the fence there, and you will get jewelry very fast. Just have some patience with it. There's a lot of foil and a lot of junk, but you will get jewelry the first time you try this. I mean, I've gotten thousands of pieces of jewelry just by doing this right here. Getting right up next to the fence at the schools. The schools, mainly the schools around the playgrounds and the basketball courts. Just try that, and you will be amazed how much jewelry there is. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.